Okay. So you remember last week, apologies for people not viewing this at home, but you can look up pictures of the things I'm talking about. Last week, I talked about this little gizmo called the Backbone, which is for
Phone
putting your
controller.
phone in to play Zenless Zone Zero.
Mm-hmm.
I described it as turning your phone into a PlayStation Vita, like specifically the types of sticks and the clickiness. So I'm returning this to Amazon
Ah. And why
because
is that?
there is a identical cost replacement that looks like this thing.
Okay. That appears to be the same almost, except that there's a fixed size for the phone
No
plate.
fixed size.
Okay. So
So
what's...
this has a terrible name. Oh my god, what a terrible name.
Does that say Game
It has
Spy?
this is called the Gamesir G8.
Gamesir.
That's right. Like hello sir.
No. Why?
Um
Ew.
so the deal with this thing, and I'll hold up a PlayStation controller for you, is that this is a full-size controller. Unlike the Backbone, this is full-size buttons, full-size analog sticks.
Oh, the game was the backbone was smaller than regular.
Yeah.
I see.
This thing is this thing is higher quality than an Xbox One controller.
Higher.
So, yes. So the triggers are the same as it would be on an Xbox controller. The bumpers are the same. The finger buttons are the same. The D-pad is a little clickier, but it's just as good. The analog sticks are Hall sensor analog sticks.
Okay. Are you getting... hold on. Are those rounded out buttons I'm seeing there?
Yeah, no, they're convex.
Okay.
They're not concave. This is basically a upgraded Xbox One controller with Hall effect sensors for the analog sticks.
So
that feel better than the Xbox's analog sticks.
More accurate sticks. No drift over time.
So instead of turning your phone into a Vita, this essentially turns it into like a would-be portable Xbox. I've been playing a lot of Zenless Zone Zero on this. It's excellent.
And there's a pass-through for charging?
Oh yeah, pass-throughs on the bottom for charging.
Well,
so what you said last week stuck with me, which is like basically the regular controllers, the analog sticks and the buttons. And then someone pointed me to this thing, which is about as good as it could ever possibly get for moving on your phone.
It's just a very unfortunate name. That sounds
terrible.
It sounds like
name.
It's going to tell me I will get the Karkand. It's just.
Oh yeah, you will get the Karkand.
the Gamesir has assured me. Yeah. Okay. All right. So
with the phone in, it looks like this. It looks like a Switch, kind of.
Oh, that's pretty wide. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I've been playing it. I've been playing a lot of stuff on it. I've also been using something called Moonlight. I don't know if you've ever heard this. So Moonlight is an open source thing that basically hijacks the NVIDIA Shield technology and lets you NVIDIA Shield stream to your non-NVIDIA Shield. So NVIDIA Shield, the way it works is it mirrors your PC's output onto their Shield device, right? Moonshine lets you just hijack that.
Moonshine?
Yeah. No, sorry. Moonlight lets you hijack that and send it to any phone.
Oh, Apple devices included?
Yeah, you just have to. I don't know. You have to be able to install a sketchy app.
Yeah, probably not then. That sounds like a Android only situation.
So for example, I was playing FF14 on my phone in bed. I was playing Vampire Survivors. And what this Gamesir has allowed me to do is take everything on my PC as well as Zenless Zone Zero that would scorch my baby's corneas with high stimulant, baby ruining iPad kid behavior causing mental stimulation and get it away from his face towards my phone where he can't see.
Yes, and again, the main plus there is being able to game at any angle while baby is asleep on you.
So people ask why not the Steam Deck. So the fun thing is that my computer is much stronger than a Steam Deck. Me streaming from my PC to my couch via this actually looks and runs way better than anything ever did on the Steam Deck. Plus, it actually feels better to hold in the hand.
You can,
like, this feels like a controller.
You can boot games on the Steam Deck, or you can stream them from your desktop Steam account, though. So, admittedly,
yeah.
So you can pick and choose. Like, if a game needs or runs better by streaming it, you can do that with it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, though, because I don't have to play at like odd angles, I'd still prefer to just connect with an official controller. Like that.
Absolutely. I'm like, this isn't a sell point, but I do think that this is like a cool gizmo for the specific purposes playing Zenless Zone Zero in bed.
But that is your...
Because you got to get your dailies out, bro.
Now, is this the end of the potential alternatives? Is the game?
Oh, I'm pretty sure this is the end. Yeah.
Okay.
This is definitely.
I guess the
end.
Well, the Backbone just had much better marketing then, because that's the only one I had heard of. You know.
Yeah. The other thing is that Moonlight is so Steam Link and Moonlight are the same thing basically. Moonlight is just using NVIDIA's Shield tech instead of Steam's. It's way better. It looks better. It runs better. It has less latency.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, from doing the Steam one, I've tried it out a bit, and it's like I wouldn't use it for anything that was like an action game or so, but for card games or anything turn-based, it works fine. You know, as long as you're like,
I can get Meletro on my phone with this.
There you go. There's your solution. Yes.
Yeah.
Steam Deck version, again, touchscreen though. Touchscreen to just slide shit along and play with that or the controls at the same time are a pretty fucking awesome fix for it.
Oh yeah, but... so the point of somebody reminded me, the point that I was like, is this good enough, was that I used the Gamesir to play Street Fighter 6 matches in bed, and I won some of my diamond matches. So that's definitely good enough. And yes, Woolie, I'm doubling up on Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi's not enough. I have to broadcast the picture elsewhere.
We live in another world, man. Like, oh my god. Streaming the Wi-Fi footage to your phone from the Wi-Fi connected console to play your ranked matches. All right, okay, yeah, all right, yeah.
Listen, hey, no, here's I won more of those matches than I lost.
I mean, how does the other person on the other end feel though? Like, there's a lot.
If it was any other fighting game than Street Fighter 6, we might be having a different conversation. Street Fighter 6's netcode is extraordinarily robust in terms of all kinds of shenanigans. Also, people are pointing out GIF on Wi-Fi. No, I'm playing nearly exclusively M. Bison. And I'm able to do streaming this thing with Moonlight from my downstairs computer over Wi-Fi. Street Fighter 6's netcode is good enough that I can react to punish counters with like EX scissors.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't even we're here. The tech is doing what it does, I guess, and you know, it's more important than ever that these matches that are gonna happen feel as not terrible as possible. I just look. I also in this same week there I saw folks describing the me getting in like the way that I get all draconian about Ethernet cables and shit. I'm like, okay, I can't. I'm not even going to get into this realm where it's like, yes, we live in a world where some people have their Wi-Fi only situations and you're gonna gatekeep and fuck you. This is why I hate that. Okay, all right, do it. Play the way you want. Go nuts if it's connecting. If it's great, that's cool. It is what it is.
Well, no,
It's
here's
a
the thing.
losing battle. I just know that
totally agree with you. I personally completely agree with you all the way up to Street Fighter 6, because Street Fighter 6 has such good net code that the problem is the whole discussion is now split in two. There's the old version of the discussion for every fighting game that isn't Street Fighter 6. And then there's the Street Fighter 6 version of the conversation, which is who cares? The net code is so good.
I can yes, it's better than it's ever been, and that's great that we live in that world. It's also nice that I can play matches that go overseas to the other side of the world and generally don't have to worry about this the way we used to. But it's just defeated at this point. I'm like, your dorm room Wi-Fi connections are just gonna make up a whole lot of what it is. So
we need.
I know that when I play a match and I feel hiccups and shit, that bothers me a lot. So I'ma do me, and y'all do whatever the fuck you want to do. And and if I can avoid getting bad matches, I'll do whatever I can to avoid those bad matches. But fucking have at it, go nuts, God bless. I can't, man. I'm not gonna be screamed at for people yelling at playing on.
You will.
Fucking horrible connections. Do your thing. Go nuts.
Well, no,
dude.
here's the thing. We need to take. Prior to this, we had all of our indignation split. Right. It was uncombined. We had 50% indignation to people who were playing with knowingly bad connections, who were making this situation worse. However, the reason why that situation was bad was the other 50%, which is, hey, developer of, let's say, Samurai Showdown, why did you release the game with bad internet? Right? And so the bad internet on the Sam Show makes Wi-Fi player situation a million times worse. And then they nice and feed into each other and everybody get mad. However, Street Fighter 6 has shown that if you make the net code good enough, bad connections have to be really fucking bad for there to be any problems.
So I think, so yes, I see. The thing is, this is why we were screaming about rollback in the net place. If you're not going to fight against the occasional Wi-Fi player, why even bother screaming about rollback in the first place? And ultimately, this leads to, it's a very interesting discussion, right? Because to segue another place that's related here, for some folks, they had the CRT setups that were at EVO for playing Third Strike, and for some players, they're like, these setups are not perfect. Right, they're not arcade perfect. It's still the little bit of different
not enough
input that you feel there is still not going to be there. It needs to be 100% accuracy, right? And the better you get, the more reactive you are at these games and stuff, the higher your requirements are going to be. So all this is to say is that now that we get to this world where Wi-Fi connections and rollback can cover for a lot of bad connections and make matches feel better than they used to. Matches that used to be unplayable become playable but rough. What was once playable but rough becomes playable, and what was once playable becomes excellent, So there's and so what you now hit is individual preferences / levels of what bothers you, because there were some people that were never bothered by characters teleporting. There were some people that were like, yeah, that's just the way the game works. It is what it is. And they've never cared about that, right? So we all get to now look at the individual part where you're like, how much does your game having an occasional moment like this or such bother you? And I can say for me, I want no hiccups. Like, I want my bar to be such that the game feels as close to an offline match as possible, right? But I'm coming from a world where offline matches were the only matches that mattered, right? The idea of playing online was like, okay, well, I guess I'll connect through Kylera, or whatever other delay-based netcode system, and then we're going to have a fight. But for the most part, I'm like, this isn't real. None of this matters because I can't do what I usually would be able to do, the Chun-Li in Third Strike on Fightcade is like not top tier because you don't have the ability to react to things the way you otherwise could in an offline situation, So all the if we hit these points and everyone's like limit for bullshit, tolerance for bullshit meter is different, rollback will make everyone have a better experience, but if my tolerance for bullshit meter is high enough, I'm still not going to enjoy my Wi-Fi based match when I see that indicator.
Well, here's the thing. I still totally agree with you, and my tolerance for bad net code is similar to yours. I ran the matches that I ran on my phone in bed, far away from my PC via streaming. I turned my matchmaking system to worldwide and any connection. Just like hey, let's see. And I ran into 1 out of 10 matches that were noticeable. And the other 9 were like, they were like, if they were not offline, they were still excellent.
And it helps if when the game is designed so that like you are used to basically when a delay is baked in some way where you're used to like tapping the button and then getting the response within a certain time frame. If you don't have a different version of that offline from online, right? If you're playing online and then you have your delay set to like a couple frames, and then you're essentially playing a slightly slower but still accurate version of the game. Like there's never any moment where it's inconsistent, but you just have to get used to timing things a little bit differently. That feels weird, and that makes things like charge characters get buffed or nerfed according to the response of how quickly you're inputting based on what you see on the screen, right?
Yeah, I think Street Fighter 6 is going to be like the high bar for a while. Maybe 2XKO has the potential to have really excellent rollback because I mean it's by the rollback inventors.
Yes, but there is just a nature to Wi-Fi in general, where even with strong Wi-Fi connections, there's always going to be an inconsistency to packet delivery that will factor in, because some people will be in environments where like there's more noise, there's other Wi-Fi signals, there's other things in the way, and with the best Wi-Fi tech you still have these things that are going to degrade the quality in a way that like you can't account for that same router in a cabin in the woods somewhere, giving you a completely different connection, right? And so that's a part of it as well, where it's like you have a setup and you've done the test and described that. I just know that the dorm room version of that is going to still experience probably way more drops.
In playing, I've been playing with like any connection for a while because I just want the fastest match as possible. And Street Fighter 6 has a very interesting solution to really bad connections. So in my experience your match is either completely fine, no notes, maybe there's a little hiccup here or there, maybe a little time, but when it is bad, only one of a few things will happen.
Hold start.
The by far most common thing that will happen is that your match will just die. You'll get like half a round in and the match will just die. It's not them skipping, it's like you'll just lose the connection due to packet loss. Right. And then the other thing that can happen is much rarer, but the match turns into complete nonsense. It turns into the rollback. Like I'm talking like 300 plus MS plus Wi-Fi on both ends. Like the teleporting packet loss shit show. And then it will die. Like I've never been able to complete a match that is falling to pieces.
I mean, I just hope that enough people out there are willing to do the no contest option, when things do start to fall apart, but the game doesn't drop you.
So what's funny is that on matches that were bad, but like playable bad, no one's ever done the no contest with me. We always make it to the end of the match and then just don't rematch because we're like, well, that was a
there is that. I do, but I give it a shot. I give it a shot whenever I can, but like I'm not gonna like there's a moment to back off and hold start, and if the person doesn't back off, then it is what it is.
But yeah, I advise people to test out Moonlight on their telephones. It's very impressive. It's significantly better than Steam Link's option, but it is harder to install. Like I had to open ports to get it to recognize my computer, that kind of thing.
Oh god, yeah. The Strive has the new 3v3 mode, which has 6 people all connected to each other. And that is that. Yeah, I don't know what that beta was like. I saw a bit of footage of it, but holy fuck, one person can drag that down, and now I can't even imagine how awful.
So I don't know. I didn't
get.
see any footage of it, but like with how long it takes to get into a match in Strive, I can like what is it like sitting there for 4.5 minutes as it loads in every character and it slows down on the
boot up
on
screen?
the bird flying.
Oh, that's not, so. The actual loading in. Yeah. It takes a sec. But like, I mean, that aside, there's the other things with that mode where it's like, hey, everyone shares a life bar, so it's not like a full team 3v3 thing. It's just pure wacky bullshit. People can jump in and extend things in ways that are just completely busted and bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just all for fun. It is not at all supposed to be any kind of 3v3 for real serious thing. But yeah, and also as well, like people can join with the same character. So I saw like a screenshot of just like you had one job and it's like 3 Nago Ryukis and the names are 3 Nagos. And then the last one's fucking, and it's like, oh god, you're supposed to the order was supposed to be different there. Yeah, but anyways, I would that is the true test of like your rollback is like a more than 1v1 situation.
Yeah.
Multiversus of course had that, and what was that other? There was another game as well that was like using some rollback based shit in a 4-player or more context. Anyway, yeah, all right. God bless. Go nuts. Have fun. And shout outs.
It's good stuff. You should try it.
Shout outs to the Log Cabin FGC.
You should try it.
If you're out there in the woods, running your cable, do your thing. You're champions, all of you.
The other thing of note is that Street Fighter 6 has the ability to see what kind of connection someone's on, and then back out if they don't like the connection that they see.
Oh yeah, if you don't accept every match. Mm-hmm.
I have found that it feels like almost everybody is accept every single match that comes in, because you'll match with somebody and it'll go matchmaking with the person. The little circle will go, and that's them deciding yes or no.
Yeah.
Usually I just goes no, new challenger, go.
Yeah.